What is going on, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome back to another post-commentary duel video. I posted on Twitter earlier today, 23rd, that I was going to get some commentary done. And this is the one that I picked. I still got a couple other duels to pick to edit from to do some commentary. We got Invoked Spellbook versus Spyrals. This is from my last tournament last Sunday. Still getting around to just editing them, posting them for you guys. Don't want to post them every single day because I want to be able to spread them out over the course of the week until I get some stuff, built up, have excess stuff to have to edit and to record and stuff like that. So Alistair coming down and getting met with a Forbidden Chalice. Not too often that we see that card, but it will come in handy here to stop him from, of course, getting any searches off. With that, Monster Reborn's going to come down. It's going to revive another Alistair. No effect, of course, but he's going to go into Tornado Dragon, and he'll detach, but he's going to hit a Scapegoat. Now, that's a good and a bad thing. He won't have it, to use in the following turns, but he does now have 4 tokens to work with to perform as many Link summons as he'd like, and that looks like what he's going to do here. Link Spider coming down to, give him more space. 2 tokens going in for Proxy Dragon, giving him 2 more spaces on the other side. And looks like Link 4 coming down for Borlo Dragon. Borlo Dragon will be using his effect. I'm assuming, I don't know what Borlo Dragon's effect is exactly. I do want to get the card, though, in the future. Stealing his Tornado Dragon. Very, very good card. Now, at this point, probably thinking about what to do about that Borlo Dragon. Like I said, I don't know its effect offhand, but I was going to say, a Gamma Seal would definitely come in clutch right now at this point in time to deal with that Borlo Dragon. He will use Invocation to summon Mechaba, banishing the Ghost Ogre from grave and attacking over his own Gamma Seal. And Tornado Dragon, his own Tornado Dragon, in the end phase will be used against him, and then it will be destroyed, it looks like. Sent back to his graveyard. Spiral Big Red going to bring back the Secret Agent, or Spiral Agent, whatever his name is. Looks like he's still got a token left, though, at this point on the side of the field to work with from Scapegoat. Soul Charge we're going to see get played here. No response from the Mechaba. It does have the option, of course, but at this point to negate it with Mechaba, but doesn't have any spells. Going to revive Borlo, Proxy, and Link Spider, linking up to go into Firewall Dragon. Still having the access to with the extra monster zones that are being pointed to from that Borlo Dragon. Normal summoning Ghost Ash at this point, so getting a lot of monsters on field just for the sake of Link summoning. I think that is a World Chalice Link monster. It's actually pretty decent. I know most Spiral decks play it. It's sort of commonplace. I don't know what the exact name it is, but we'll call it the World Chalice Link monster. Someone will probably know the name of it in the comments, I'm sure. You guys are good with that type of stuff. I'm just not familiar with like all the Link stuff yet. I only know the Links that I need to play. Which, I mean, could you really blame me for it, honestly? That's right. Get your reading on. Get your reading in with Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't have to go sit down and read a book. Just play a couple games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays. You'll get plenty of reading done. It looks like Firewall attempted to activate effect, and it's going to be met with that Mecha. But discarding looks like, to me, a Droll Knock Bird sent to the graveyard to negate that. I would say it's worth it. Get that Firewall out of the equation. And Blue Boy grabbing Secrets. I can only imagine at this point he's going to go for Spellbook and Knowledge, which will allow him to get a couple draws off of the fact that he does have a Spellcaster in hand or grave. So he's going to grab Knowledge. That Knowledge. And then I can only assume that he'll be playing it here in just a moment. Still has to deal with that Borlo and his other World Chalice Link monster on his side of the field. Going for a Link himself. Feel as though it's going to be good to sacrifice all 3 of those monsters for a Decode Talker. However, it is important to keep in mind he can still use Knowledge at this point. And then he is going to summon Mechaba with Invocation, using Decode with its added attack by an extra 500 to swing over his World Chalice Link, and then boosting up his Mechaba with Invoker, or Alistair, to swing over that Borreload. And basically it's a game of set and pass at this point. Draws into, looked like a Psy-Frame card. Was that a Psy-Frame card? I think that was a Psy-Frame card. Drew into a Psy-Frame card there at the end. Not what he needed to see, clearly. And that's going to send us into game 2. Starting things off with Spellbook of Secrets. Add Blue Boy. Blue Boy looks like he'll be discarded for Knowledge. And then we're going to see Alistair come down here, of course, grabbing Invocation as per usual. Spellbook Grand Tower being played, which I believe has the ability that during each of your standby phases, if you have a spellbook, or if you have a spellcaster in your hand or grave, or on your field or grave, you can recycle a spellbook card from your grave to the bottom of your deck and then draw an additional card. That card, I remember when I used to play all the time when I used to play spellbooks. It was such a good card just to get that extra draw. Super Agent does look like it'll reveal a spell. I don't know if that's exactly what he meant to call, but we'll see a double Helix come down, and it looks like a Ghost Ash as well. Looks like he might have double Helixed the Ghost Ash, or not. He might have Ghost Ash the double Helix. We'll see 1-for-1 grabbing Quick Fix and a big red to bring out another Spiral monster, and they're all, looks like they're gonna, most of them gonna get linked away for that looks like to be a Decode Talker. Still has that Quick Fix to work with. Gonna grab Resort and Sleeper. I think that's Sleeper. It's just a high level darker colored picture. I think that was Sleeper. Gonna activate Resort. Of course, at this point in time, Resort is at 1. This was not that old of a video. It was only a couple days old. Sleeper coming down, and Last Resort is gonna get equipped to him, which will give him some added bonuses. Swinging over Alistair, doing plenty of damage there. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber coming down. Let's see what he has in response. Of course, Sleeper is not going to be affected by that, although Interrupted Slumber has met its requirement. It does have to destroy something on both sides of the field, which it has done. Now going to summon the Thunder Kaiju and Gamma Seal, of course. You will have access to that Interrupted Slumber, though, for a later turn. Basically, a get out of jail free card to go grab a Kaiju if need be. Not sure what those set cards are on the left side of the screen there, but probably some traps of some sort. Maybe a spell card bluff or two. Who knows? Invocation. I see like he banished the Effect Veiler there and an Alistair. For Mechaba, I think. And then it looks like his field will be getting wiped. I can only assume that's by the effect of Spiral Sleeper, using his ability there. Pretty busted card. Invocation activating. Banishing Blue Boy this time. Not a light monster, but banishing Blue Boy. And an Alistair for Cositus. Activating a Spiral card there in the trap zone. I believe that is Spiral Mission Rescue. Not entirely sure what it does, but I believe that's what the card is. Activating Super Agent. Doesn't look like he's going to get to guess the right card, which doesn't matter. He does have a Quick Fix to summon anyways, and that is going to grab Big Red. Big Red's going to bring out Double Helix. Plenty advantage. I think that's that's Drone coming down. He's going to be able to check the top 3 cards of his deck and chalicing one of his own monsters to beat over Cositus. That is going to be it for game 2. So quite a comeback on the part of the Spiral player there. Be able to put out that massive field there at the end. The other guy checking his phone, just clocked out. You know, let's go to game 3. I've had those games where like, yeah, just play solitaire and I'll just kind of sit here until you put game on board. I totally can reconcile with that. We're starting off very, very quickly though. You can see 1-for-1, and a lot of shenanigans has led into Double Helix with Quick Fix on board, and then grabbing, it looks like a Big Red. I'm gonna go into a link, Decode Talker comes down quickly. And then we're going to see Spiral Resort and Sleeper added to hand. So this is sort of a similar setup to what we saw at the start of his first turn in the last game. There's Princess Sprite, which I believe he does get to call, like monster or spell or trap, and then if he mills it, it does get added to his hand. If not, it just goes to the grave. I believe it looks like he called spell and he gets that Scapegoat. Very, very good, obviously, not just for, you know, stalling, banishing, rescue to look like summon that double helix agent coming down, and then he's gonna link it away for that World Chalice link monster. Last Resort getting activated. I wasn't paying attention to make sure he was shuffling it during the end phase for Resort, but that's something that I have to try and keep track of, just to make sure there's no accidental screw-ups happening, because as we know, you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that those things happen. It's just the fact of how Yu-Gi-Oh goes sometimes at locals. Not always the best play, especially when you don't have the privilege to work with, you know, the best players that play the game. You know, you got to make do with what you got, right? So having to go against Sleeper, Firewall, Double Helix, but Sleeper gets Kaiju'd, and then we'll see a Slumber come down. And if last turn, I don't know, I think I said Slumber had destroyed things on both sides of the field. I am corrected, obviously. It just has to destroy something, I believe. You can't just play it to summon 2 Kaijus. I don't know why I had it confused like that. But the lucky Slumber, his knight in shining armor coming down to just save him. Gadarla and Dogaron hitting each side of the field. That was a top deck. That was the card he wanted to see. Blue Boy hitting the board, attempting to activate effect, it looks like. No response. Perhaps he might have had something, but maybe saving it for a later play. Secrets getting activated. Or, of course, Spellbook of Knowledge. Where are those Drone Lock birds when you need them? I don't know if he's actually, I don't know if the Spiral player is actually playing Drone Lock. Or what type of hand traps he's running, but I assume he is running some, maybe just not seeing some at this point. There is Pot of Desires. Yeah, Drone Lockbird at this point would really shut down his turn for sure. Oh, definitely. Like, Pot of Desires, Blue Boy searches, Spellbook of Secret searches, Meltdown searches, you name it. And one swift Drone Lockbird would really just shut it down, if you ask me. But Drone Lockbird seems to have that effect on just a lot of decks right now. And then Dogaron does attack over Gadarla. And looks like that's the only thing he's going to be able to do this turn as far as Invoked Spellbook plays are concerned. 4 tokens will be given to the Spiral player, though, because of that Scapegoat. Last Resort added to hand via Resort. Just regular old Resort. 1 token into Link Spider. 2 into Proxy. We're going to see sort of that same combo last time we saw the Scapegoat go off. Sort of a similar play. But now, he's got to be mindful of 3 set back row and 3 cards in hand. Super Agent does get to come down, does get to call the card correctly. I'm assuming he called Spell. Hit a set Pot of Desires. And linking into, I can't even see what that card is. The preview I'm working with to commentate over this is very, very small. What is that card? Hold on. Okay, so I actually looked up the card real quick. It's Ningirsu, the World Chalice Warrior. This card is link summon, draw cards equal to the number of World Chalice monsters this card points to. You can only use this effect of Ningirsu, the World Chalice, once per turn. You can send 1 card from each player's field to the graveyard. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 World Chalice monster from your hand. Alright, well, not too bad. I'm assuming he's used or have already used the effect to send a card from each player's field to the graveyard. Seems like a pretty decent effect, a nice 1-for-1 clear. Doesn't have too many other World Chalice cards to work with. I'm assuming it's only played as a tech card to go into Mrs. Radiant. Coming down. That does benefit Spyrals quite a bit. A lot of Earth monsters to work with. And there it is. The Slumber in the grave coming in clutch. Just as we might have expected it would. And I don't think there's any or maybe that card was oh no, he's gonna get the search. Never mind. I was confused. I was like, where's the search? Why isn't he searching? Did I miss something? But he will add Gamma Seal, like I said. Gonna come in clutch, like I said earlier on, that graveyard dwelling slumber. And then the dark hole, man. The double board wipes this man has been having. The slumber, the kaijus with the slumbers, the kaiju with the dark hole. Just the luck, man, is just through the roof. You should go buy a lottery ticket at this point. Being able to clear those boards. Pretty late game, I would say. There it is, the Alistair engine that never fails, but it is a psi frame. I think that's either gamma, beta, or alpha. I'm not sure which one it is. It does obviously negate monster effects though, and they do get summoned to the field. It does not have the obviously doesn't have the psi frame field spell to be able to synchro into anything, but Monster Reborn into the Thunder Kaiju. Attacking over that little psi frame is going to do a hell of a lot of damage. End phase, Scapegoat coming down. Extra deck's got to be getting thin at this point, though. It's done a lot of link summoning. A lot of summoning in general. Don't know how useful those tokens will be. Looks like he goes right into Gaia Saber, so that's 3 tokens immediately. And then Spiral Tough hits the board by destroying the Thunder Kaiju, calling correctly, and then gets the Super Agent on board, but it's just enough damage. That was a quick turnaround right there, folks. That was a good third game there. Was not expecting to go the way of the Spiral player, but it did anyways. Just find a way to scrounge up the damage. That Scapegoat coming in very clutch. You're not playing your Scapegoats, kid. Get your Scapegoats. It's common. No excuses. Do what this man did. Bring it back from the brink after losing to, you know, like board wipe after board wipe. Sort of losing to. Almost losing to, but just not quite. But anyways, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, you know what to do. Leave a like. And there is a poll right now on my channel. It's a post that I made on YouTube. You can check it out. There's a poll that just says, what do you guys want to see more of on the channel? Go vote. There's like 100+ people have already voted. Go vote. I want more votes. I want more feedback. Go vote. If I can link that post, I will link it in the description. But please do me a favor. Go check it out. Thank you in advance. And we'll see you guys in the next one.